Hi you guys, welcome back. My name is Carrie Penny. I am the Happy Crafty Homemaker and welcome to Show and Tell number 230. So it's been 2 weeks since I did a show and tell. My basket is full of a couple of FOs and a ton of WIPs. And then we also have acquisitions and the Yarnable unboxing for July 2024. So let's crack on. I'm fine. We did have some more fire alarm issues. They finally sent a physical tech out here to move the fire alarm to another part of the house because it's one of those like combo smoke CO2 heat detectors. Apparently it's like mega sensitive and it's super sensitive to humidity, which, as I've said, I live in the southeast and it is mega muggy here. One of the mornings where we had a humidity level of like 97%, it started going off again and nonstop. So that was fun. At least it was like at 8 o'clock in the morning and we were able to like get everything disabled by the third time things were going off, and they scheduled a same day technician to come out and fix it. But my anxiety still went straight up through the roof, and it was another like lost day for the first half of the day. So anyhow, I filmed a bunch of stuff getting the quarter started and setting us up and everything else. So it's been a couple of days since I filmed anything. Today I'm planning on batch filming just 2 videos, and then next week I'll try to get back to like filming things on Tuesday. So next week the show and tell will probably have far less content in it, just because this is 2 weeks worth of content and it'll only be like 5 days worth of stuff if I film Tuesday next week. So that is what is going on. On Saturday we will have our next dyer spotlight, which I'm very excited for. So once I film it, that means I get to play with stuff. Yeah, so let's start dismantling this stack of things so I can share what is going on. So I do have 3 finished objects for this 2-week period. So I finished crocheting a hat to go with the corner to corner scarf that I shared last week as part of Project UFO and then forgot to bring up here for show and tell because I don't think I did that in the show and tell 2 weeks ago. It's just 2 mandala cakes, one in gnome and one in wizard, in a corner to corner to make a 6-foot scarf. Maybe I did share it, but it was in the UFO video because that was oops, that's the project that I thought I didn't have done and did, and was like, oh yeah, that's on the. So anyway, that's done. Now I've got a matching hat. All I did was crochet out into a large adult size, which was 7.5 inches, half double crochet down. I did 4 rows of back loop half double crochet, and then this was using a size 7mm hook, and I did 3 rows of post stitches, back front post back post alternating with the 7mm, and then I dropped down to the 6mm J hook to do the last 2 rows just to kind of cinch in the band just a little bit. But this is very, very stretchy. It is a large hat. Specifically, I wanted something large as this will be a donation. And one of the things I've noticed with a lot of the hats and scarves that get donated is the hats do not allow for hair. A lot of them are very, very, very tight fitted beanie style hats. And at least in our area, we have a lot of the people that receive these have much longer hair or fuller hair. So I wanted to make sure that some of the things, and particularly for women and men, adults, allow for voluminous hair to keep their head and ears warm. But this also, like with me and my mega fine hair, you know, is easily like a slouch beanie. So it can be worn multiple different ways, and I'm not sure which charity will be getting this set, so I want to make sure that everything I'm donating, there's a variety of things that can be worn different ways for different people. So first up, we got the hat. Next up, we have my picnic socks by Cheryl Toy. I will leave a link in the description box for these. So these are using Peyton's Croy in bramble stripes. I did a short row shadow wrap heel following Denise at Earth Tone Girls tutorial. I did not do the drop stitch because I did not like how it was turning out with this yarn. It just looked too loosey-goosey and was not quite right. But last time y'all saw these, I was here. These were worked from cuff down, so I just needed to finish the toe and Kitchener that shut. So this is where we were 2 weeks ago on this sock. Up next, I have my Atomic Strawberry Lemonade socks. So these are entered into Heather's Stranger Summer Make Along, as well as Summer Sock Camp. These are using Knit Pick Stroll and Pucker and Highlighter Yellow. I was imitating men's athletic socks from the 80s tube socks in the striping pattern and having the rib leg here. Once again, shadow wrap heel. I did a rounded toe on these, and I did a stretchy bind off here that is, it's knit 2 stitches together, put them back on the left hand needle, knit through the back loop, knit a stitch, put the 2 stitches back on the left hand needle, knit through the back loop. That's the type of stretchy bind off I've been using a lot. Just, I've got big calves, and I keep telling you guys this in explanation of why I do things a little bit differently. And even in my sock video that I uploaded, going from hats to socks, or now you're ready to make socks, think about it. I can't remember what I called that, but the crafty chat that I just uploaded about preparing yourself to knit socks. When you have a large calf, you don't necessarily, depending on where you stop your sock, you don't need to change a lot of things. Sometimes just the bind off is enough to change, because the bind off can create friction rubs or irritation if it's a little too tight on your calf. And for me, I've been going a little bit higher than normal on my sock, so it's hitting right under my calf. I want something that is going to give me full stretch when I wear it. I don't care what it looks like when it's not on my leg, because that's not what's important. What's important is how it's going to fit me. So this does flute a little bit. It is not in the same rib stitch, but it fits where I'm cutting these socks off at much better for me. But I do love how these turned out. I am going to pop in some pictures that I shared on Instagram and in my Facebook group talking about or showing these socks. So I have been trying to get knitting done while I'm walking in the neighborhood. I was unable to fix our treadmill that was left here at the house. We inherited it with the house. So until we get a treadmill that actually works, I'm planning on it when I do these outdoor walks at 6:30 in the morning, taking socks and like my muscle bar hat and things like that on walks, because I can walk and knit. I don't walk for speed. I do enjoy walking elevations, and I grew up reading and walking at the same time. So I knit in the store while I'm walking around following Troy. When we're doing Troy shopping, I knit while following him around in stores. So why not walk and knit? I don't have a crew like I did in Charlotte, so I'm on my own most mornings. Now my neighbors have taken notice of this. It is also kind of hard to miss, you know, violently hot pink socks on the go. But I have one neighbor, every time she sees me, she's like, did you finish them yet? My goal was to finish them on Friday. I did finish them on Monday. So I was 2 days behind where I'd wanted to finish them, partially because I just did not have a whole lot of time over the weekend to finish them. This is where they were last time. You had just seen the toe. So I did get a substantial amount done. So this was like where I was on Monday. I turned the heel on Friday. Saturday, I was working up this section when I took my walk and I got lost. And I ran into a very nice older gentleman who is like, I've seen a lot of things walking. I have never seen somebody knit and walk That is impressive. And I was like, I used to read and walk, so I mean, it used to be nothing to see me with my nose in a book walking around campus in college. So anyway, I did this part Saturday. I had done the first couple rows, but most of this was done on Saturday. I accidentally took a 5-mile walk when I only wanted to do 2 to 3 miles because I got lost. Then Sunday, I worked on this section. I got a lot of ends to weave in. I made a couple of mistakes here. So I do mine 2 at a time, toe up. That's what I've been doing recently. And doing the stripes, I initially decided to not cut the yarn in between stripes, which was a huge mistake from working from both sides of the ball 2 at a time. I created a huge mess. So in the middle, I did have to cut the yellow. I left the pink running. If I had this to do again, I would cut the yellow in between each stripe, weave in as I go. I did do the method so you don't get the jog of the purl stitch here where you knit the first row of the new color just straight around and then reestablish the rib pattern. I also, when I finished binding off the first sock, accidentally cut the wrong yarn. So I had to reattach for the other sock. So lots of ends will have to be woven in. This was very fun to work on though. I do love these socks. They turned out exactly like I wanted them to. I really wanted like the most obnoxious socks ever made. And I think I achieved that goal. So Atomic Strawberry Lemonade socks are done. That is all the FOs. So I'm going to go ahead. We'll jump into sock WIPs. Then we will talk about the other WIPs in here. But I have 3 bags with socks in here that are in progress. So these are my Minecraft socks using the Yarnable Straighten Your Crown from sometime before this year. I do not have my label, I don't think. I think it's on my desk. So these are the Minecraft socks. I am ready to turn the heel on these. Ooh, we're blowing out still. As you can see, there is an alternated knit purl pattern here that creates this great pebbling effect. I love them. Jenny Lee over at Wyoming Knits is why I started making these. She knit a pair, and as soon as I saw them, I was like, oh my God, that's perfect. I have that yarn. It looks like a pineapple. I need it. So I'm kind of copying her, and I got something else to blame on her later, so I may as well just start now. But I fell in love with her socks. They absolutely were precious. This is one of those yarn colors where I absolutely love this yarn, but it's not something like I would normally wear around my face. It's not flattering for my skin tone, so it wasn't going to make a great shawl. I don't know anybody off the top of my head that this would be perfect for. So I've been looking at it, yearning for a project, and just could not figure it out. And then I saw her socks and I was like, bam, there we go. So I cast mine on. I did do a round toe, and I am working mine from the toe up. The pattern is written cuff down. I'm going to use this to do the ribbing at the top, but I'm not doing contrast toes and heels because I want this to look like the top of a pineapple. So that's what that will look like. So next step is putting in the heel, which is I edit this today. That's probably what I'm going to work on. This is in one of my T-Dottle. All 3 of these are T-Dottle mini maker bags. I have my, I am intentionally choosing bags for these sock projects. So this just fit the colors perfectly. So this is my monkey bag. Up next in my spring kittens bag, I have another pair of Hermione Everyday socks. So I'm actually calling these the Atomic Hermione. The toe is done in Knit Pick Stroll. I was originally going to do a Yarnable mini that I had that I think actually came with this yarn, but I ended up really liking this Knit Picks Violent Violet. where's my, I think I have an extra skein of it up here. Nope. I just have pucker. Anyway, I pulled this actually to do a pair with my ALC, the flannel one that I got at Christmas time. But I ended up casting these on first. So this is the Hermione Everyday pattern. It's, once again, kind of hard to see on camera. The texture stitch. I mean, you can definitely tell it's textured versus the back. In person, you can really see the stitch pattern though. This is using a hypnotic yarn, which is Cheryl from Yarnable. It's Yarnable by Hypnotic Yarn. Hypnotic Yarn is the company. Yarnable is the subscription box. This is from Hypnotic. This is just their regular, and this is Atomic Turquoise. And I am love with this yarn. So once again, this is such a quintessentially Carrie colorway. That's one of the reasons why I just had to buy it. This had to be mine. But I do love it. Oh, maybe I have the, nope. Oh well. So I just got started on those. I've only worked on those one day after I did the toe, and it was like one trip out to the store real quick and back. So I didn't get a whole lot done on those. And then up next in my Dinosaur Merriment bag, Merry Dinosaurmas, I have my Christmas in July socks. So all I have so far are my toes. And this is using Knit Pick Stroll and Hollyberry. I have my little dinosaur marker, which I'm pretty sure came with the T-Doddles bag. I'm pretty sure this is the marker that came with the bag that year. And then this is the yarn I will be using. This is Mary Maxim Holiday Stripes. This is one of the original yarns that I pulled out to make socks with for summer sock camp. Mary Maxim Festive Feet, and this is the colorway Happy Holidays. So this is a self-striping yarn, and it has a faux ferrule effect in it. I did cake up. I didn't quite split the cake, but I think it's like 35 grams over here, and the rest is in this one. I will do contrasting heel toes and cuffs for these, so I really don't need that much for the foot. I don't take my socks super high, so those will actually be my new walking socks once I get the new yarn established into these. So I now have 3 knitting needles that are clear. I need to cast on some more socks, so I have stuff on deck ready to go. Don't you know? So, non-sock whips. I've had a very sedentary couple of days. I've been a little sick to my tum-tum. Plus, after our 4th of July party, I kind of needed to just vegetate a little bit. So I have had lots of time to start new things. If you follow me on Instagram or you're in my Facebook group, you will have also already seen this project. So this is going to be a kimono style wrap or vest jacket cover up thing. This is using Shawl in a Ball in Moonstone. This is my Shawl in a Ball collection here. So I just came up here and was like, hey, you know what? Why not? I absolutely love these colors. So right now, that's how wide it's going to be. I want to do one more repeat with the eyelet section here, and I haven't decided if I'm going to do, I'm working on the eyelet row now. And I have not decided if on this inside edge I'm going to do 2 rows like I did on the outer, or if I'm going to do 4 rows. So my goal with this, number one, I want to do it in one piece. I don't want to sew it together. I want to make this in one piece and sew the underarm area, or the sides. I also am making this a little bit shorter than I would normally want for something like this. Right now, it comes to like mid-belly, maybe. like mid pooch belly. I make it sound like I hate my body. I really don't, but I do have a prominent pooch belly. So I want it to be under the bum, and I plan on doing some sort of border edging that's a little bit longer. But I wanted to intentionally do something just a little bit different than what I've seen in other patterns. I'm just playing. There's no pattern for this, no rhyme or reason, just, ooh, that sounds like it'll be pretty. Let's do that. I am writing down what I'm doing though. So I might do a tutorial on this, kind of like a down and dirty quickie tutorial maybe, where I kind of explain the method to making one, but not necessarily giving like stitch counts and things, just how I did these stitches and how to figure out the measurements for what you want. So just the loose groundwork kind of thing, not a step-by-step tutorial. But I'm loving how this is turning out. It's exactly what I was envisioning so far. I still need to figure out how I want to do the center back panel, but that's tomorrow's problem. Get that out of the way. I have so much stuff stacked up on my desk right now. I can't like place a whole lot of stuff up here. I want to do this crochet one next, and then I want to talk to you about the last whip in here. Two more to go. It's going to be another long video, guys. I'm super duper sorry. I do have the Yarnable unboxing and stuff to add in here. I'm really glad I didn't overtalk that. So I had scraps left from where I did my king size blanket, as well as the scraps from the corner to corner scarf and the hat to match. So I did start what will be a donation blanket holding two of these together, corner to corner. The transitions location here request twin size. So I am going to do this 60 by 90. And I'm just going to keep this going using my Sport and DK weight scraps, just like I did with the king size blanket, where I just kind of used my scraps as I went to make the blankets, or to make the squares that went into that blanket. So I did just immediately the same IKEA bin. I had those in. That's where this is living. I'm using a size J 6mm hook, holding the two together, straight, normal, corner to corner block stitches. So I do have a corner to corner tutorial here on the channel if you just want to jump in on that. Bada bing, bada boom. Love it. It's going to be such a nice, easy, no stress blanket to make. I do have a couple more hats and scarf sets that I want to make, just like the one I just finished. So I will probably, on my way out of here today, grab some of the mandala or cupcakes off the cake wall over here. Like I said in my UFO video, ideally, eventually, what I would like to have happen is have my cake walls emptied, or at least the bottom half of the cake cases empty, so I can start putting kits, books, things like that out where I can see them, so I can get things out of my craft room closet, because that's where things go to die in the void. That closet is a void for me. I am not using it, so I'm not using it functionally. I'm using it. There's stuff in there. I'm storing stuff. Don't get me wrong. I would like to get my stuff out of there so I can see it and actually use it. Ideally. Up next. So this is the Gentle Waves cowl. I will, once again, have this in the description box down below, so you can go check out the link. When I was talking about doing the Stranger Summer Make-Along hosted by Heather the Crochet Witch, I had told you guys I didn't know what I was going to do, other than the fact, I did have some socks that were pretty epic. And then I was like, I have that whole kit set aside that I made up with Erica's Max set that she dyed, Erica the Lopsided Crafter. She dyed a yarn set based on Max from Stranger Things velour shirt. So this is her card. And I know everybody knows this shirt. I'll put a better picture of the shirt in there. If you're my age or a little bit older, everybody remembers the fruit stripe gum shirt. That's what I always think of it as. Nice little tip, by the way. Erica always includes a color catcher in the yarns that she dyes. I love it. So I had actually, when I found the Gentle Waves cowl pattern, I was like, oh my God, this is perfect. This is exactly what I want to do with this. So I actually set that aside at the beginning of the year and was like, okay, this is going to be a kit. I put this kit together and it's been sitting in my bedroom. I caked up the yarn and everything. Like, I dead set on doing this. And then I remembered Heather's make along. So perfectly enough, you know, it is Stranger Things themed yarn, even though my pattern isn't. So I have added in the red, the orange, and I am working on the yellow. So I have blue and pink left to go based on the color order on the shirt. So I did go in color order of the shirt. I wish I had not. The red in this is a little bit soft compared to the orange, but it's still a little too matchy. I think it's showing up better on camera than it does. And it might also change as it's blocked, where everything's going to be a little bit lighter anyway. But it is two yarns obviously held together. You have your main yarn and then your 5 minis is how the pattern is written. I will have a substantial amount of yarn left over though. So the two outer colors, which will be the pink and the red, I'm going to have this much left over. And that's a lot of yarn left over in a project. And for the blue, the yellow, and the orange, I'm going to have this much. It uses, I think, she says 8 grams and 12 grams because it's the ribbing plus the pattern for the outer two colors. So I will have a substantial amount left over. I'm not sure what I'm going to do with yet. Maybe I'll do some striped leg socks with it. I've got some undyed yarn. That could be really cute, just saying. But it will use most of the 50 gram mini. But there we go. So this will be my next entry into Heather's Stranger Summer Make Along. This will be the Max Waves cowl. Get everything tucked back in here. So I'm very excited about that. When you plan a project out and then you finally get started with it, it's always kind of exciting to me. But I've just got this in one of these clear bags. That's how I had it stored, so I just left it that way. Finally, maybe I'll save this for later. You know what? I'm going to do that. We're already at 30 minutes. I'm going to put in the Yarnable clip, close out this video. Next week, we will talk about what I actually purchased, and we'll just save that for next week. How's that sound? I love you guys. I hope you're having a wonderful, fantastic day. Stay for the Yarnable unboxing, and there will be pet tax at the end of that. So, happy crafting. I love you guys. Bye. Hi guys, so I'm not sure what video this is going to get slipped into, but we are going to do something we very rarely do here on the channel, and we're going to do a blind reaction to my Yarnable for this month. So first off, we have our Notions pouch, which I say month after month. I love these zipper pouches. They come in so handy for just about everything. So first off, oh sweet, we have some try-on cords. So you guys know I have been really heavily into this sweater kick, and I'm going to be honest, these are a massive lifesaver. And of course I just tangled the daylights out of mine. I was trying to pull them out so we can look at how long they are and how awesome they are and how festive they are for the 4th of July. I think this will actually probably go up the week after 4th of July, unfortunately, just with the way my schedule is, but we'll see. So we have one 60-inch, that's the red one, and two 24-inch ones. So I'm just saying, that gives you the body of a sweater plus 2 sleeves, or a neckline and a sleeve, or just like the body and the neckline. So regardless of how you are putting your sweater together, regardless of the direction you're knitting your sweater in, this may be my all-time favorite extra that I have ever gotten in any subscription box now. Just because these have been something that Erica gave me a set of these a couple of years ago, and I have been using the daylights out of them. They're awesome. We have a really cute little patriotic progress keeper. We have some Pop Rocks Popping Candy, cotton candy flavor. I just saw where a lady finished some cupcakes with these. Just saying. We also have our scratch off for our discount this month. Stitch marker. Oh, it says 30 inches. I was so close. 60 and 30. Add a burst of fun to your knitting session with these cotton candy flavored Pop Rocks. So, what is in our package? Oh my goodness. I'm going to have to see if I have some red and turn these into socks automatically. I don't think I have anything that, I don't have any other like patriotic-y yarns. Actually, I do have a red. So this is Picnic Basket from Yarnable. And yeah, that's about all I have that would really go with this into another project in my entire collection of Yarnables and ALCs. I don't think we've ever gotten like a straight on patriotic yarn from them before. And this is called, by the way, Oh My Stars. And look at that beautiful speckling work. We definitely have some washing going on there. It's very similar to, well, it's very similar to the Atomic Turquoise Hypnotic yarn I'm using right now. This is Yarnable by Hypnotic, but the technique used on this is very similar to another yarn that we got earlier this year that is also turquoise and pink speckles, and I can't remember the name of it now off the top of my head. I used it in my Summer Freshness shawl in March, I believe. So I guess maybe that was March's yarn. The technique used is very, very similar, I believe, to the way this one's done. But it's very similar to the Atomic Turquoise that I bought separately from Hypnotic. But yeah, that might have to get made into a pair of socks this month. Or maybe I can do them next year just to prepare for 4th of July. I don't know. Let's see. So, back to normal programming. I love you guys.